we're back. Got the case bolted together. Cleaned up everything already. So we're going to put the cam cover on now. So there's what the hole looks like after we did the reaming on there. Not a major difference. But the burnishing mark is kind of gone away. So hopefully that was enough. Rock this way here is a little bit looser. Still pretty close. Still doesn't just drop on like it did without the crank being in there. Down slightly easier. Hopefully it's enough to eliminate the binding. My guess is probably not. But we'll see. All right. Still tight as hell. All right. So much for the easy way. Easy is not quick though, as you can tell. It was a waste of about 45 minutes. Don't feel any difference. Still tight. That's an improvement. Actually did come off, so we are getting a little bit better. The burnish mark is coming back right here though. So there's still a misalignment in there. There's a couple things I can do now. I can either hand scrape the bushing with a hand scraper. That's what this is. Or I can go in there with a reamer, stick it in there, and then take it and pry it like that while it's reaming the hole in the middle. And try to cut material off the top. So I want to cut this side here. So that means I have to lift up on the cover like this to cut that part. And see if I can cheat and knock off a thou or so of where the height spot is. That's cheating. A little bit more dangerous too, but usually more accurate. At least the reamer's the same size as the hole. Pretty much anyway. So that was this reamer here. So it goes in there pretty tight. There it goes, once it's in there all the way. So I can put that in the milling machine and or drill press and caulk it a little bit, and so maybe we can get to unbind. Reamers aren't really made to cut that way, but they will do a little bit. The other thing I can do is I can put my external hone on here and spin around the crank a few times and clean up the shaft a little bit. Assuming the shaft is oversized. You get a pretty good mark going on the shaft here where the problem is. So you can see right here, there's a little bit of tightness here, but it's really tight right here. See how it's not round either? So there might be something, running a hone on this might actually do us some good, maybe. Hard to tell. It seems like it's rubbing pretty hard on the bushing is the problem. The whole damn center line of this is off a few thou. So it's either pushing the crank down or it's pushing the crank up. It's one of the two. I don't know which one it is. So put a new bushing in there. Might fix it. Might make it worse. Might not make any difference. It's strictly a matter of where the center line of the bushing is when you're all done. Line reaming it does not change the actual center line where the bushing's at. If it's off, it's off. So I'm going to try reaming it in the mill. Cheat a little bit. See how that works. It's only slightly dangerous because I have no access to turn the thing on and off. Once I get going on it, I'm committed. That means it can come out and chase after you. That's what that means. And do some damage. So now the crap's in the way that I moved off the table. If I had less shit in the way, I can make this easier. Now if I put this over here, it'd be out of my way. That's a start. Put that over there too. Alright. Get that out of the way. Give enough room to spin all the way around. Otherwise it will break stuff big time. Alright. What I need is a big chunk of cardboard. That'll protect us slightly, but not very much. Okay, this is in my way. Pinch my finger, that's good. Be over in this area. All right. I'm going to tighten this up real tight. That way if it binds I might be able to hold it back enough it doesn't destroy everything. Too low for my arm in here, see? I need to get more clearance. Whack. Alright. See any material come off, but that does not mean it did not. So you can see how burnished the hole. See how it's all smooth there? Yet on the bottom down here, see it's still got the machine marks in there because it didn't burnish that side. It would have burnished it right here and on the opposite side, down way down deep and down there. I don't know if that's enough to make any difference. There's only one way to find out. Put it back on the motor. See if it helped us any. I don't think I can do the shaft because the oil pump boss is in the way. So I'll leave that on there. Definitely less drag. Of course, it's not tightened down either. See if there's any difference in the shaft size. Not really. A couple tenths maybe. If that. I'd say it's pretty straight. Okay, I'm going to go try this stunt again over here in the mill. See if I can't destroy it over here. You think I'll destroy it? Maybe. Find out. Definitely making it shinier. Getting pretty burnished, pretty smooth. See if it helped any. definitely getting better. Put a couple screws in here and see if it feels any different. When you tighten it down, it's really going to work. It's where it's going to be, so it's more accurate. Having the cover loose doesn't really bind it up per se. When you tighten it down, that's what's going to make the difference or not. Tighten it up a little bit more. Didn't surprise me. Still a lot tighter than I like. It's just too damn tight to really run. Yeah, too much. Everything I'm doing is helping, but it's not fixing the problem. So it's like chewing the flower. You can keep playing with it, and eventually it gets where you want it. Or you can make a major step, change the bushing, and hope that does the trick and be done with it one shot. Or at least a lot better than it is. Problem is you never know which way to go. It might get worse. Because I know I don't like it the way it is. Now there's something I'm seeing that's new. That could definitely be a problem. I'm starting to pick up a drag mark on the face here. It's hitting. That would definitely be causing a lot of drag. I'm also seeing evidence on the end of the shaft. So it's getting color transfer on the end of the shaft, pinion shaft there. So I bet you what's going on is this pinion shaft is longer than what it should be, because the skewer already sticks up more than it should, and it's bottomed out all the way on the shaft. So that tells me this pinion shaft is not made correctly for this application right now. It's probably about 30 thou too long, and I bet you dig into that bushing. So I think we got the burnishing pretty good in there. I'm not seeing it getting any worse than we already had it. But we are definitely dragging across this surface here, you can see it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go there and cut that down. Only problem, how am I going to cut it, because there's no real way of doing it. Yeah. Could always hand grind it. It's not the best, but it works. Yeah, it's definitely hitting on that. It's hitting at an angle too, which is kind of weird. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's all about. Alright, I think I'm going to go and do a little playing. I'm not sure why that's sticking out. You can also see how the bearings are sticking out pretty far. You would think that'd be more closer that way. Now that bearing, the bearing over here kind of dictates where that sits, but it's against the snap ring, so it didn't move. The flywheels shouldn't be any wider than stock. but there's always a possibility they are. But you know, having a lot of extra clearance here is not abnormal. But if this crank pin is a little bit longer overall, or the tapers and the flywheels are a little different, that would shove the pinion shaft out further, which would be causing these problems. So that's always a chance. We never know exactly where all these issues are coming from. We just know we have issues. So you can see the burnish mark's pretty heavy all the way over there. So I'm thinking pulling the case off, doing a hone into the shaft wouldn't hurt, and then shortening this up over here a little bit. So I'm going to go see how I'm going to do all this stuff. Got two different avenues there.